is really about envisioning a future with calculated boldness. And this is about being deliberate in design and planning, but also having audacity and courage and being daring when we're thinking about the work that we're doing in arts and culture.
This is High Five. I'm Heather Kelly, and today I get to speak with Michelle Yeung about her philosophy of arts leadership. A few things to know about Michelle is that she is a certified fundraising expert. She's the lead for the Creative Champions Network at the Toronto Arts Foundation, and she's also managing director of Mass Culture. And with that, I'm so excited to welcome you, Michelle. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you so much, Heather, for having me today and welcoming here to High Five. I've watched many of the other episodes, and so I hope that what I bring forward today will be thought-provoking and inspirational to those who are planning to pursue a career in the arts as a manager and as a leader. Arts leadership is an evolving field and it will always continue to evolve. But what I want to share today is sort of my journey over the last few years in sort of our pandemic world and out of the pandemic world, and through my learning and my journey through the MBA that I just recently conferred in October.
Ooh, congrats.
Thank you so much. And just about how that has informed my own perceptions of myself, understanding who I am as a worker, as a leader, and as a community member, and how I strive to do better in my role to support the arts sector. So those are the things that I wanted to talk about today.
I love it. I can't wait. Let's dive in. What is the first insight or learning that you'd like to share?
So in my 4 years of my MBA program, one of the things that continuously came through in all our courses, and I have a leadership specialization from my MBA, and through those specific courses, it was really thinking and coming from within and looking at our journey as leaders in whatever field we're working at, and thinking deeply about our own personal ethos and how that ethos amplifies and informs our work as leaders and managers. And so I spent 4 years trying to figure this out, and I'm sure it's still going to continuously evolve as the world changes around us. But I wanted to sort of bring forward some of the core values that form my ethos, which is authenticity, integrity, lifelong learning, courage, collaboration, and loyalty. And through this discovery, last year, I came up with a statement of my own vision and my own passion for my own world and my own life. And I came up with this leadership ethos, which is to be a transformational leader who can inspire others, nurture sincere relationships, encourage openness and inclusion, to make the best decisions together and have a positive impact. So that's how I bring myself forward and be present in the moment and in all the roles that I have in the sector.
I love that. Your personal ethos and the way you've approached it with keywords essentially that resonate, that are meaningful to you. The way that I've done it is I've called it my personal manifesto.
Yeah.
It's the same idea. So yeah, incredible. I love that. Articulating your guiding ethos. So what would be your second insight or learning in your journey?
So my second insight in my learning journey is really that understanding that in our roles in the arts, and it's not exclusive to the arts, we navigate really complex systems. And within the arts and culture sector, we are constantly navigating complexity. And our roles as leaders and managers is to move through this complexity that always generates value and forward movement for our organizations and for the sector itself. So we do this in different ways, of course, bringing forward our own core values in our work that help to manifest the change and the movement forward that we want at our organizations. And I do this through various ways and different approaches. And I'm not sure if you want me to dive into those right now, but
Love to
yeah,
hear it. I think it'd
sure.
be really interesting for people.
So and at the in the overall, if I think about it as like an umbrella, at the top, it's really about how am I, through my own ethos and through my own core values, how am I going to generate forward movement and add value at my organizations and the work that I do. And in doing this, and through studying some of these frameworks through my MBA, is I hopefully I'm trying to, it takes practice, is moving through three different sort of frameworks of thinking and of collaborating and of working within the organizations and the groups that I'm part of. And one of those is really about cultivating a focused flexibility mindset. And this is about focusing on present needs while maintaining the flexibility in order to meet the future needs. The second framework and concept of thinking and bringing people together is around enlarging the circle of engagement, which is about creating a collective rather than an individual experience. And the third framework, which I love, and I find it might be the hardest one for me to navigate, but it's also the one that I feel speaks to the core of who I am as well, is really about envisioning a future with calculated boldness. And this is about acting with a lot of deliberation, as well as and being deliberate in design and planning, but also having audacity and courage and being daring when we're thinking about the work that we're doing in arts and culture. This is the creativity part that comes in to the work that I do.
There's so many gems there, and I'm just feeling that boldness and creativity and audacity. I think it's also really important. So I'd also like to underline what you said too about the courage to be bold is really important and part of a journey as well.
Thank you, and I thank you so much for that. It's great to hear that those things are resonating with you, and I hope that it will also resonate with the community in how we approach the work that we're doing. And things aren't going to get less complicated. I think they're going to be more complex as we look ahead, and so there's lots here to really reflect on and how we as people add value and create that forward movement that is needed as we figure out what's happening right now and really recover from a few years of a lot of uncertainty. So we hope that this will be helpful to others. And I want to also speak about what this means in practice, and that it's the combination of who I am as an individual and also how I perceive and how I want to approach making progress. And when I talk about progress, I mean generating value and generating forward movement. That is progress. And we can't stand still, on our own, because the world is continuously changing. And if we're not able to change alongside the world, then we'll no longer be relevant, right? I know relevancy has been a big conversation over the last year, and these approaches is also what challenges us to ask questions about our assumptions and also question our relevancy and whatever biases that we may have. So in practice, why I think these things are so important is that we as individuals can't do this alone. So I'm honing these skills, to really create environments, values, a culture within organizations that really help support generating value and forward movement. And I use sort of these frameworks and these mindsets in many of the roles that I've had. And currently, at Mass Culture, at the Creative Champions Network, I also use these frameworks and navigate fluidly through between them and maybe combinations of them as we're navigating whatever complexity or the challenges that organizations face through mentorship, through board leadership, volunteering, and more. And we can even drill down to using some of this mindset in strategic planning, in decision making, in change management, and really all the functions of an arts organization. And I think, like, as we look ahead, just like any other sector, we're really asked and charged to be more responsible to, the triple bottom line, the quadruple bottom line. And this is how we're going to navigate through this. And at the center of all of this is really positioning and centering everything around people and culture, because we have to work collaboratively in order to navigate the upcoming challenges and build for the future. And so all of these sort of mindsets is really about how do we bring people together and how do we create the environments to be successful and thrive.
I love it. All about people. And again, that's the heart, soul, and spirit of what we do and how we do what we do in the arts sector, right? Such a wonderful framework to be able to work with. So thank you so much for sharing that. So appreciate it. Where can people find you online?
So probably the best place to find me is on LinkedIn.
Okay.
I come up as Michelle Yeung, CFRE.
Okay.
But you could also find me on Mass Culture, and my email is michelle@massculture.ca.
Yay. Well, thank you. It has been such a delight to hear your insights about your arts leadership philosophy for progress. And I look forward to the next time we have a chance to chat. And thank you for that. And for anybody watching and listening right now, please join us again next week for another episode of High Five. Thank you for being with us.